Hey kids, comics! Silver-haired Bronze Age babe here, yakking about her comic book collection, and today talking about some detective comics. I'm going to show you a bunch of detective comics that are in my collection from late 1971 through I think the middle of 1973. I've done a couple videos about detective before because they kept changing the masthead a lot over the years, and some I really love, and others I'm just not a big fan of. This is kind of picking up where that last video left off, where the Detective Comics Presents, oops, sorry about that, is kind of floating above. And as it was explained to me that they were doing anything they could to make sure stuff was above on the top of the book for the spinner rack so that people could figure out what it is. I like this cover a lot. Mostly because it's purple, and one of my viewers knows how much I love purple. This is a Neal Adams cover. They fixed the Detective Comics thing as far as in my taste goes. I like kind of that banner a little more. And I've always been kind of enamored with that. I thought that cover was actually really pretty special. Again, I had a Tumblr, and I put a photo of this cover on the Tumblr thinking people are going to go crazy over it, and all I got was crickets, so I guess not. And then they changed the design of the cover incredibly that next month. This is number 420 from February of 1972. And it's super distinctive. You can't miss what the title of the book is and who's starring in it. My tiny teeny gripe about it, though, is that some of the art, this is given a little short shrift in favor of those big borders. But still, the books of this era are super fun to read. They had an original story, and then usually, actually maybe two original stories, a Batman and then a Batgirl original story, and then reprints, which were fun. So you got bang for your buck, or excuse me, for your quarter back in the day. That's a Neal Adams cover, I'm pretty sure. And then we're into the 20-cent era. I think this is roughly 1973. Looks nice. This has always, I found this really upsetting. I remember seeing the ads for this back in the day. I wasn't collecting or buying Detective Comics back in at that time. I remember it on the spinner rack, and I don't really like that imagery that much. That's a pretty cool cover. I like the blue, lots of blue. Again, another Batman and guns. I don't, not a big favorite of mine. Now here's a good one. I love Man Bat, and I'll read any Man Bat story anytime. And this is pretty good. The Master Crime File of Jason Bard. Not a fave. Don't really care. Those were the Jason Bard stories. Kind of replaced the Robin and then Batgirl original stories, so I didn't really care. Again, more guns. DC Comic yells at you, "Stop. Nobody leaves this magazine till a murder is solved." Well, that's what happens in every magazine. You don't have to yell at me. These are just great. They're just so of their era. Love it. I love this cover as well. I just really think the color scheme on the main art is just beautiful. Again, one wonders if this you know, we're not there, and Jason Bard's like smug mug. We're not, you know, wasting space. Couple more. Oh yes, ghosts and Batman. Have you got a ghost? Love it. Ghost and Batman. Love it even more. Same thing with this one. Spook Strikes Again. I assume, I can't remember what the stories are because there's only so much reading. I only have so many megs of RAM. I can't remember every story I've read all the time, but I love that cover. I think it's great. This is a good story. I do remember this one and really liking it. And plus, look what they did. They took away the big border thing. And I like it more. I really like it more. So then we're into end of 1973, and they changed the masthead yet again. And this masthead design stuck around for a few more years. I have more of the Detective Comics that I'll probably dig out of the box and show those at some point. But so there you go, Detective Comics 1972 through 1973. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.